Hello everyone, welcome back to the second part of the video. So now we'll continue with setting up the authentication with JWT and turning off the Spring security. So let me start by running the application. It takes some time. It's running on 8080, so I'll just go and run 8080. So of course we have the sign in window. This happens because it's a default configuration in Spring Boot. We don't need this most of the time. You can just have our own sign in and sign out window. So for now I will create a configuration and then disable it. Let me create a class. We will name it security config. Now this will be configuration, and this will enable web security, and this will have Lombok. We will just create constructors. Okay, so let me delete this. Yeah, nice. So you set up the basic things which you need to configure the this class to for Java Spring Boot to recognize, and then we can uh, write more variables. Let me create a JWT variable. It will be a JWT filter. Okay, then we will create security config. Create a chain. Okay, and we can return http build. Okay, now we'll change this http request. First we can turn off the default function where you have to log in here. We can disable it. This is called CSRF. We can okay, let me enable Lombok and let me turn off the server. We'll just create errors for no reason. Okay, so hitting CSRF, and then we will turn off RF disable auto completed. So now it's a CSRF disable. Now we will have session management for and have a lambda function of session dot session creation policy. We talked about creation policy. We talked about having a stateless server, right? So in here we'll have a stateless session creation policy. So the server just saves the current state and gives it on a one-by-one basis. Now we can have for some APIs, like say our application, you have to just login. Okay, so this will be under auth pathway, say auth login. Now we want that auth login to directly access the page without requiring a token. So for that we have to make sure that some API endpoints can directly access the server without any JWT token, so that we can log in properly. So let me write code for that. Is authorize HTTP request, and then we'll have auth, and then we will have auth dot request matchers. We can have auth star means everything auth login, auth register, etc. Every auth field will have will be accessible directly. Let me show it here. See, it's a permit all. So what we're doing is that first we are disabling CSRF. Okay, then we are setting that Spring Security uses stateless session, and then we are enabling some API endpoints like auth to have automatic access without any JWT token. And then we will have filter. We can use this filter to filter we can have this filter to filter out the JWT token. Like when the Spring Security gets a JWT token, we can check it here, and then we can filter it with this JWT filter. I will show you to you how JWT filter works, but let me just finish it now. You can speed up. Okay, so this is a built-in class for Spring Security. You don't need to remember all these functions and how each of them works. You can ask ChatGPT or documentation. I am using my own previous project to write the code. I understand what it means on a surface level. That is enough too, because if you are working with another backend, this will all change, but the logic will remain same. So after that, I will write a JWT filter on the service. JWT filter. Yeah. So the security config I will just import it. Good. Now we will have JWT filter. This will also be component, and also I will require a constructor Lombok. Now this will have JWT util final JWT util. This util class will hold the actual JWT logic. Let me write the util class first. I guess it will be easier then. I will write a new file. It will be the core of JWT. Here we will use the actual JWT. So let me find a code. Yeah, this will also be a component, and then we'll have final secret key. I will write a temporary key pair. Okay, so for most version of JWT, you need the key to be very large. So let me do that. Randomly. Later, I will replace the key, the secret key in my application properties. But so for now, you can have random things here, and then that's over. Next, we will have public string, token string, generate token string username. Okay, so this will be called from here filter, and we can return a JWT token. Create. Okay, so let me add all the functions. You can just copy this from ChatGPT because it's too long to explain, but I'm basically creating a JWT token with using the JWT package, and we'll return it with all the information. Now this is the date. Okay, and then we have expiry. You will have date, system dot current time in milliseconds, then we'll be plus 1000, 60 in minutes, then 60 in seconds, minutes, and then 1000. This will give like 10-minute time, no, actually 1 hour time for the token to expire. And then we will do sign and use algorithm. Let's see which algorithm to use. Sorry, algorithm. Or we can use whatever you want to use, but I will prefer HMAC. Let me HMAC 256. It's enough, I guess. And we will have the secret here. So what it does is that it saves the password in a following the HMAC secret key, and it uses this secret key here to change the password, so that if our database is hacked or something, the hacker cannot get user password, because it will be changed or in a non-readable form using this key and this algorithm. Of course, you don't need to have this key here. I'll show it to you later. You can save the key externally in an application properties or in your variable in server. If we deploy this in future, I'll show it to you then how to do that, because this is very unsecure. If by chance your database leaks, then your other passwords are in danger. Okay, so let me import date. Great, it's done. And more we need is a token. So to validate a token, just bear it with me for some time. I will explain it to how I'm token going. Okay, so we'll validate token. This will be required when we check for a token if the token is valid or not, because it's server side. Here we use the token to make sure that we are actually authorized to access the API, like our profile or orders, etc. So for that, here validate token that our username is same. Let me show it to you again. We secret. Then what we do is that, well, good. What we do is that we first take the password, and then token. We take the token, and then right. So yeah, what we're doing here is that we are using validate token, and using this token, we will validate the JWT we got and check that if this token is the same token of the user that we initialized earlier. So yeah, that's all for JWT util. Again, you don't need to remember all the syntax. You can just copy it from here or ask ChatGPT. That's all for JWT util. Now finally work with filter. This will do the main work of validating, and as a pathway for the security layer here, security config and util layer. So let's start with public. Or should we do protected? I guess don't need to access the answer class. I will have return, don't need any return, filter internal. Okay, so this is all our used these are known functions, so that's why I get a code completion here. And then we will have different things in here. Let me, we will have HTTP servlet response, servlet response. Okay, so, okay, we'll have response. Oh, then we will have request, HTTP servlet request. Okay, request. Then we'll filter channel 0, and then we'll exceptions of servlet exception and IO exception. Let me write it here. It will give an error at runtime if you don't get it here right now. Okay, and then we have IO exception, and we don't need it here. Okay, it's done now. Then we will have a path for servlet path, and then we can have header. It will consist of the JWT token itself. Yeah, good. again I'm getting auto completion because this is a standard code. And then we can just type this if statement. I need to type that anyways. After that we can have a token. If I remember right, it should be 7. Yeah, right, 7. And then we can try and then catch. Let me catch exception. We can use, okay, so we can try the get username here from the token. See, let's figure out the util validate token here. Validate token, and then we will get a return of the username, and then we use that username password authentication token we used here, and we can create a new username password token. Again, it's got completed. Good thing. Yeah, I will explain it to you. Just let me type everything, then yeah, good. So, then let me end the code here with, okay, I will just press this, and then yeah, we're done. So let me explain what's happening here. First of all, you are getting the from JWT util, we are sending the token to here, and then it will validate the token and return the subject, that is username, and then we get username, and then we use the username password authentication token, which is again a part of Spring Security Framework. Here we use that, and then we return a new authentication token using username, and we don't have any credentials for now. And yeah, there's a list, you can see it here. There's credentials, and there's a list authority, like what authorities does the token has. We don't need it for big financial applications is needed, but for now we can just keep it empty. And then we can have the authentication. We can just return the authentication, and yeah, that's all. For error, we can just say response dot set status. Let me yeah, so first, if there's an issue, we can just send the default unauthorized error. You can say it in the postman. This will directly give you the REST API error, like server. I don't remember exactly the code. We'll see in postman. By the way, you can have postman here. Let me open the postman. So this is postman. Here we can get you can use this to send API signal from post, get, etc. You will be using this, and most backend developers use this to test APIs. I suggest that you download the application and use it when required. Anyway, so it's all done. Let me write the last statement if there's to make sure that if there's any header issue, okay, or if there's no period token attached, we can just return a response. Let me response or status not unauthorized. I don't want to give not unauthorized. Let me see. Wait a minute. I don't remember exactly. This is your bad request. To understand that there's a difference between this and this, you understand? Anyways, so this JW filter, I've closed it. Okay, so it's done, and let me check. Okay, I just want to add that one thing, that if the pathway for authorization path that starts with, if we have auth here, then we can just nice, okay, to complete. just a filter chain. Oh, this should work automatically. Okay. It should work here. It should work here. Never mind. I don't understand the issue. Wait a minute. So yeah, my bad. I actually forget that we already have passing the filter chain here. So you can just use the chain. Then you can use the filter method, do filter method to have the request response, and then you can return. And yeah, that's all. Oh yeah, you're missing here. And yeah, that's all the code. It's all done. What we're doing here is that we are okay. Let me override that. I guess we need to override it here. Let's get override. So we are overriding the default do filter internal, and then we are returning we're returning the filter chain, right? Okay, we have to return the filter chain. Filter dot do filter request response chain. Okay, chain. Should have named it chain filter something, but yeah, that's all. So I don't know, not sure why override is giving error. I don't think it will cause any problems. Let me see. Okay, so we're passing this, and what they should say. I don't think there should be an issue here. Let me fix the whole code. Okay, give me some time. It's actually, you can say it's my mistake, but Java has a configuration issue. There's like one line of code or one renaming or misnaming a file, and it's giving all the errors. Let me pause it and I'll come back with all the fixed code. Welcome back. So we got the error here. I just missed this one extent. I forgot that it's an interface. I had to go to the docs and see what the issue is here. So yeah, what you're using this is a method explained in one per request filter. You can go here, I guess. Request filter. Let me, and then you can have the generic filter bean. It implements this filter, and then this filter has a do filter internal already there as an abstract field. We override the abstract field using the filter, and then you use this to return the JWT filter in here without extending this. It will not work here or accepted here as an object. Also, I forgot to add the bean here. So beans in Spring Boot is like in object-oriented programming, you have to create new objects and manage it. In Spring Boot, you can just add bean and the object will be managed automatically by the Spring ecosystem. And then to check if it's working or not, we can just save it. And no, before running, I want to create a new controller. Let's say I will name it auth controller. Java class auth controller. Okay, then you can have a REST controller here. Give me a second. We can have a REST controller here. Okay, and then we can have request mapping here. Request mapping, and then we can request mapping of authentication off, and then we have all args constructor, all arg constructor for Lombok, and then we can have again JWT util final JWT util filter util. Let me Now we can get the post mapping from here. So say login, and then we can have a response entity. To just response, we can directly write the class name, but using this is a better practice. It will respond accurate errors to the front end, so that the front end user can use the error systematically to show what they need to show to the user. It's not a work, but it's good to maintain standards. Also, I'm using question mark here because I don't want to create the DTO or the object right now. We can talk it in the next video. For now, I'm just testing it. We can have login here, and then we can have a request body. Sorry, request body, and then we'll have map of string and string call body. Okay, and then we have string username equal to body dot get username, and then okay, let me put, and then we have token here is equal to generate token. This is very unsafe. I'm just using for testing purposes. Don't do this in the official application, or it will be hacked in a day. So yeah, let me return this as a map. That's done, and just for purposes I can for now just focus on this only. I can let me set up Postman. Okay, I will show it to you how the whole flow works, and yeah, give me some minutes. So I have set up the Postman here. As you can see here, I'm pinging the post for auth login, as we explained here. Auth and then login. Yeah, so we are calling it here, and then it's sending a raw in body called username and with my username. Okay, for now it's just for showing purposes. When it gets a structure officially, using all the login, logout with user form, etc., it will be different. But for now, yeah, here's username and just pass it as a raw JSON. It gets it here, and then it is the username, and then we have JWT util here. Is generate token JWT util to generate the username. Here we can use DB. Let's type it here. DB verify. We can verify that if the user is actually the user, or it's a random username, or the user has not registered yet. You can do the logic here later in the with videos. Okay, so you can do it here. For now, just generating token, and then we returning the token here. Let me try it again. Send. You can see we got a token here. Now we can use this token to do work here. Let me just write a code in front of you to make sure it's working. Temp controller. So I have created this temporary controller, temp controller, and it just has a temporary request mapping of temp, and then it has a get mapping of ABCD, and it just returns a string called authorized. So okay, I did some mistakes which you should see. First of all, you can check it the code if you were writing with me. I did after checking for null, I added all my logic here and then wrote a else statement. Maybe because I was thinking that I just thought the opposite. I was doing the opposite thing. I wrote it and then never saw back what I wrote. Anyway, so if this array is null, or there's no period token here, you can just respond with unauthorized. Else you can just skip this whole part and continue with filtering and responding to everything. And the second, here we are permitting this auth, rest it doesn't. When I was testing it, it is not responding to other API endpoints like temp, etc. So I did this. I added permit all to another request and make sure that another requests are authenticated. You must add it to your code, and then it's all over. Again, I don't think I need to give a overall view of what happened because you just recheck the video. You can test it in Postman. First, I will make sure it's running. It is running. Then I will just send. It got me the auth token. I will copy it and I will get new get request. First, ABCD. Then we have authorization and we have paid token here. And then let me the page. Now I can just send. Okay, it's done. Authorized. It's working all right. The basic part is set. Now you can use it here, but it will not give some response here because, well, never mind. So what we'll do now is that in part 3 we will set up the whole DTO of users and do actual sign in sign up with everything involved. I will come to your next video and I'll try that to minimize the length of the video because this video is about 30 minutes long, I guess, or lesser. If I can save time in editing, I will do it. But yeah, I will create some basic code like basic details etc already beforehand and then just apply the system. But I just made this video longer because I wanted to explain how this all things work, how JWT work, how security configures need to be configured. And if you need file, you can take a screenshot here. Let me show it the whole code once, so you can copy it if you want to. Okay, never mind this. Copy this. Okay, and then your JWT filter. Okay, it just takes the JWT util, overrides the internal filter internal. Takes the path and then takes the header and then tries to make a new filter, test the filter and then see if it's valid or not. You can add database logic here later. And then you have, one second, you have JWT util. It's a basic JWT. I will add the secret token in next video from the environment variables. You can search on ChatGPT or Google how to do that. It's not hard. And then there's generate token which directly used here. I will not use it directly. I will add it in a repo layer or something, repo layer, service layer, to add the repo. We'll do it in the next video. And there's an auth controller. You can just check the code what's happening here. So yeah, that's all. We'll meet in the next video. If you have any issues or you want me to improve something, you can just write in the comments. Thank you.